My name is David Siffert. I'm the Director of Research and Projects at the Center on Civil Justice at NYU School of Law. The center is dedicated to the study of the civil justice system in the United States and how it can continue to fulfill its purposes in a democratic society. Our work has led us to concentrate on the responsible adoption of data technology in the legal system, including artificial intelligence. The center has been extremely lucky to work with Nicholas Economou through his roles at H5, the Future Society, and the IEEE on multiple different projects and events over the years. We were partners on the original Athens Roundtable in Athens in 2019, along with last year's online version, and we've been thrilled to co-host once again this year. Among the projects in which we're collaborating with Nicholas and others is that we're excited to be working with the IEEE and the National Judicial College on an ESI protocol, a set of best practices for the use of artificial intelligence in technology-assisted review or civil e-discovery. The project sets standards to ensure transparency, competence, accountability, and most crucially, effectiveness of these AI systems. If you've worked with us in the past, you will remember our center's founding director, Peter Zimroth, who passed away last month. Peter was a legal pioneer in countless fields, from complex litigation to criminal justice reform. He was also quick to spot the benefits and dangers that AI poses for our legal system. His guidance brought NYU's expertise to bear on many of the issues we've discussed over the past 2 days. But CCJ is incredibly lucky that Judge Beverly Martin, who recently retired from the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, where she was appointed by President Barack Obama, has agreed to serve as the center's second director. Her accomplishments and expertise will be invaluable in thinking through the role of artificial intelligence in our legal system. Her term began this week, and so I could not be more excited to introduce her to all of you.
Thank you, David. It's been terrific for me to be able to participate in the roundtable yesterday and today as I start my work with the Center on Civil Justice at NYU. I'm really looking forward to continuing the work of the center and, of course, Peter Zimroth and David, with all of you who have so much to teach me about artificial intelligence. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Judge Martin. Thank you very much, David, for joining us for these closing remarks. And now it's a pleasure to introduce Mantalena Kaili, the Executive Director of Elon Tech, one of the founding organizers of the Athens Roundtable. Mantalena, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Nicola and Nico. Needless to say how thankful I am for this collaboration. It's been an event that I couldn't expect the high level and importance of the contributions that we all shared would be. I would start by thanking the Future Society team and the Elon Tech team for all the hard work for preparing this event. May I also thank the President of the Hellenic Republic, Ms. Katerina Sakelaropoulou, in this closing comments for her timeless support, and the Deputy Minister of Innovation, Mr. Christos Dimas, on behalf of the Greek government, and also the representative of the French presidency. We are so happy to see this dialogue being supported by the officials of these two countries who share other comments as well. And of course, all the institutional and private partners who trusted us again for this collaboration. I personally believe that every intervention was a highlight, but I should underline the contribution of our chair, Professor John Tasioulas, who's the director of the AI and Ethics Institute of the Oxford University. The significance of his contribution is this. AI is such a multidimensional issue, and it is not just law, it's or technology. He reminded to us that it's mostly social, economical. It could be a matter of faith and religion. It's deeply philosophical. Therefore, we need this transdisciplinarity and knowledge transfer between the fields of science and humanities. And because, as Aristotle said, and Professor Tasioulas brought up earlier, if a condition is completed or dynamic, will define the way and our stance on how we will explain this condition. And this can be a method that law can also include, and the policymakers can use on the way how to approach the challenges that AI is setting to us. Could law be static? Because AI is not already a fixed situation. It's a dynamic, and there are so many things that we haven't even imagined. Therefore, I will also quote Ivan Fogg's words about the black box on whether is there a time for the policymakers to analyze and include everything in a convention until the black box of the algorithm becomes equivalent to the one of the flights, then yes, there is time, there should be time. We should make time and we should try harder. And we need to keep this dialogue going on. And we need to proceed with an international convention. We did it with the Budapest Convention. We can do it with the Athens Convention on AI. And I think this will cover all the agonies and all the trust issues that are currently on the top of every agenda, whether it's in Europe and the continental law, or US and the Anglo-Saxonic legal way of approaching these issues. And I will close with this joke I earlier saw online, and inside jokes for lawyers. Don't try to stop your kids believing in Santa Claus, because you adults never stop believing in international law. So it takes some faith for this, and we all need to support this. Thank you very much for this experience. Looking forward for 2022 Athens Roundtable.
Thank you very much, Magdalena. It was wonderful collaborating with you again this year on the Athens Roundtable. And now for the closing comments of the conference, the president of the Future Society, Nico Miai. Nico, the floor is yours.
Well, thanks a lot, Nicholas. And let me first of all thank and congratulate our audience for the energy and the participation through the chat. It's never easy to run an hybrid event or an online event. So congratulations and thanks for your energy. Secondly, let me thank the co-hosts and thank the sponsors of the Athens Roundtable, without whom nothing would have been made possible. Let me also congratulate and express my gratitude and admiration to our teams at the Future Society and at Elon Tech for the hard work and designing, planning, producing this event. And finally, let me congratulate you, my dear Nicholas, for your vision and great leadership in rendering this possible. We're striving for rigorous editorial positions, brave editorial positions, attempting not to scapegoat anyone, to try and involve and include everyone on quite a set of complex topics. It's never easy to do. And you've done it, so well done. The Athens Roundtable is really about creating a big tent and building a community of values and practice that has the courage to ask and try and solve hard questions without scapegoating anyone, by asking everyone to take responsibility. I think that the discussions clearly surface that governing the rise of AI for the benefit of humanity will require the development of smart cocktails of self, soft, and hard regulatory mechanisms. The smarter they are, the better off you are going to be to collectively capture the upsides and minimize the downsides of AI. On this, a solid transatlantic backbone cooperation for global coordination is needed to ensure that in so doing, developing these cocktails, we try and defend and uphold the best from our democratic values, starting with the rule of law, which really is the bedrock of democracy. We now know that self-regulation won't cut it, but we also know that without self-regulation, hard regulation may very well end up over-specifying, while the hard regulatory mechanisms doesn't exhibit the agility of other means and therefore deliver risk to innovation. But I repeat, it is also the lack of self-regulation which may lead to clumsily developed hard regulations, which could stifle innovation. So no scapegoating on either side. It's very important. These are cocktails. And in that context, the emergence of soft norms, of benchmarkings, of standards are really crucial in between self and hard regulation to provide the connective tissue of uniformity, diversity across industrial sectors, as well as agility as technologies and business models continue to evolve. This requires the mobilization of all communities of practice, of all communities of interest, designers, engineers, managers, regulators, legislators, compliance officers, auditors, purchasing officers, administrators, and many more. And this is my call to action to all of you. Get involved in that conversation. One should also look, finally, and that's something we're going to do in the next editions of the Athens Roundtable, and pay attention to the hows these smart or less smart cocktails get implemented and enforced with the best incentives to comply and anticipate. And there are three avenues: the adjudicatory route, which centers around courts; the regulatory route, which empowers independent regulators at the center, such as the FTC or the CNIL in France; and the administrative route, with government department at the center of the equation. There are pros and there are cons for each of the avenues. There are strengths and weaknesses, and they need to be really looked at. So in conclusion, I really look forward to meeting you all in 1 year from now, hopefully in Athens in person, to take stock of the progress we will have made or will not have made over the three pillars of the roundtable.
Nico, thank you. I'm afraid we missed the very last segment of your chat, but I think the essence of it was well understood and captured. With this, that closes our proceedings. It's a little early, but I still feel compelled to wish you all very happy holidays, a wonderful new year with successes and health and progress and engagement on the domain of AI governance. With much gratitude to all of you, this concludes our proceedings. Thank you all very, very much.